Can you believe we started Interview Boss in 2021?
Not really. It's insane. That's a lot of episodes and a lot of hours of talking.
Oh my gosh, it is. And if you're scrolling through all of our episodes, you might scroll straight past something that you really, really needed.
Yes, we're always getting messages from people asking us to do an episode on something, and I'm like, we already have.
So we've put together playlists to help you find the episodes that are exactly what you need, suited to your situation.
They're all categorized. If you're applying for jobs, we have episodes about resumes, cover letters, job ads. If you've been offered your dream job, we have episodes on resigning, exit interviews, and how to impress at your new company.
And we even have a very special playlist that's very popular for if you have an interview coming up immediately and you need just our most recommended hard-hitting episodes between now and then.
For all our last-minute listeners. It's all there for you. You can browse by category and check out all the playlists at interviewboss.com.au/podcast.
First I would panic and then I would take a deep breath. This pen is the most top-of-the-range, luxurious model. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Interview Boss. My name's Emma. I'm a third-year journalism student who's teamed up with my sister to give you advice, inspiration, and support when you're looking for a new job. Sarah is a HR and recruitment professional, and together we're excited to give you guys all the tips, tricks, and behind-the-scenes knowledge to help you in your career.
Hey Em, and hey everyone. This week's Shoot Your Shot shout out. Oh, that's a mouthful. Shoot Your Shot shout out. Goes to Eddie. So you guys might remember Eddie from our episode about how to talk about losing a job when he wrote in a question. Well, he's decided to make a bit of a career change, and he interviewed for a maintenance job at a school, which he said was his absolute dream job. He hasn't been able to start yet due to COVID restrictions, but he got offered the job. How exciting!
So exciting. He was thrilled. And he also said, the crazy thing is that I've managed to land a job after my very first formal interview in 20 plus years. Your podcasts and personal advice help take the worry and uncertainty out of the interview process, and I nailed it. I love that. What a win. Eddie,
so
you're a
wholesome.
star student.
Isn't he?
Thank you for letting us know how you went, Eddie. We are so happy for you. Now, this week's episode is going to be about how to respond to curly interview questions. That's right, those weird, strange, outlandish questions you can get asked in an interview that just absolutely throw you and make you panic and think, what kind of question is that? What do they want me to say? What were they thinking? We're going to debunk some of them.
I have a theory with these. It's very rarely the recruitment or HR person coming up with the curly questions. It's most often the manager. And you know why I think they do it? Because they don't really like interviewing and they feel like it's boring and they've done so many and they just want to keep...
They want to spice it up.
They do want to spice it up. That's literally what they're
themselves.
doing. They're entertaining themselves. They're breaking the ice. They're like, throwing in a bit of fun. And I don't think they realise how off-putting it can be.
Yeah.
Like, please write in if I'm wrong, but I think they always come from the hiring manager.
Yeah. I think you're right, because recruiters are going to be focused on, like, the professional
skills.
things, the criteria.
Yeah. Are you qualified?
Yeah.
Your experience.
So,
making you feel comfortable as well.
Yeah. We're going to be doing lots more interview content, so we're going to do another episode about responding to some popular normal interview questions. But for today, we're diving into all the weird questions that you can get asked.
Yeah, we're hoping this will be a bit entertaining as well.
Yeah.
So, Em, do you want to ask me these curly questions?
Yes,
and I'll see if I can
absolutely.
give you, what kind of a response they're looking for or
Yeah.
why they're even asking it.
Yeah. So some of these came from personal experience. I've been asked some, Sarah has been asked some, but we also put a call out on our Instagram and this is what the public sent in. So it's obviously that real people have been asked these, which some of them, it's a bit hard to believe.
This is you guys. This is what you told
Yeah.
us that people have been asking you. So let's get into it.
Number 1, sell me this pen.
Ah, such a
What
classic.
the hell?
oh, it's a sales thing and it's like, sell me this pen if you can sell a pen. I think they do it in Wolf of Wall Street, and that's like a test that he does. If you can sell this pen, then you can sell anything. It's a bit lazy. It's like a sales interview person who hasn't really prepared much. You know, if you're asking this question, I'd encourage you to be a little bit more creative. But they're basically trying to put you on the spot. They're not really worried about Emma, are you looking at a pen?
Yeah, because I want to give a little mock. I'm just reading of how I would sell this pen if it was in front of me.
Okay. Righto, let's do it. Sell me this pen, Emma.
First I would panic and then I would take a deep breath. This pen is the most top-of-the-range, luxurious model. This in my hands here, we've got the Pentel 1mm ball medium and ballpoint pen, and it is smooth. It's got the click function, so there's no, you're not going to accidentally put ink on yourself if you put it in your pocket because you're a businessman. It's got beautiful grippage in these little wave design on the little pad there, which offers a great cushion and
ergonomic
grip.
support.
Yeah, yep. And that's why you should buy this pen. How did I do?
That was great. You could have like told a story as well. Well, you know when you're always looking for a pen and you can't find one. Well, this pen will never let you down. Or I don't know.
Yeah,
you could just be a bit creative with it. What they're looking for here, it's a bit like when we talked about in a group interview when they get you to do all those weird kind of scenarios. They're not looking to say what you say about the pen. They're looking for, are you ready to jump in, have a go? If you were really, really awkward and uncomfortable and didn't give it a go, I think that would be a big red flag for a sales job. They need you to be happy to just have a crack and have a try, because that's what you're going to be doing in your sales thing, is just practicing and
not
calling
even sales,
and trying again.
but in a new job in general,
Yeah.
you're essentially thrown in the deep end and you've got to have that sort of go-get-em attitude, give it a go, ask for help. So I feel like, also, that's all they want to see.
They haven't given you any instructions, right? They haven't said anything about how to sell the pen, so you just get to go about it whatever way you want.
They want to see your initiative.
If you were being really clever with this one, and you could use some like actual sales tactics, and you could say, so why are you in the market for a pen? What other pens have you used in the past that you've liked?
God. This just feels like a big joke. Like
I know,
just try not to
but that's
laugh.
But you sell by asking questions and then,
Yeah.
Doing feature and benefit. So you did that really well when you were like, the cushioning is for this and this is for this. That's selling. So if you're being really clever, turn it back on them.
Right.
So tell me about a pen in the past that you've really liked. They'll play along. They will.
Okay. Right. Curly question number 1 is debunked. Next curly question I have for you. This is hilarious. My best friend got asked this, and I still can't believe that somebody.
What business was it?
It was like a little chill retail job or something, and she said it was just the weirdest interview of her life. Like the energy was so weird. She walked out of there being like, "I'm not ever going back there." They said, "If you were any part of the hamburger, what part would you be?" Like, this is laughable. I can't believe in a real interview this was asked.
What would you say?
I feel like I would say, I'm the chicken schnitzel because I'm the heart and soul of the burger.
Oh, that's cute. I think
Other
I would
people,
say
the cheese because I hold it all together. That's such a classic one.
I might say something like anything but the bread because I'm celiac and I can't eat the bread.
Erica, my roommate, said she would be the sauce because without it, it would be plain and boring.
Oh, there you go. Or you could, I spice it up. You could.
Oh, yes,
say
spice
that.
it up. Yep.
I mean, again, this is classic of like someone's bored. They've interviewed too many people and they're asking you this question. I think just answer confidently with something.
So there's no right answer because I think my friend came out of this being like, what do they want me to say? Like, does each answer correlate
tomato.
to a...
I don't like tomato.
Like, does each answer correlate to a type of person they think you are?
No.
Okay.
No, it's
just
not
pure boredom.
There is no psychology exam secretly hidden in the hamburger question.
Great.
No.
Right. Debunked. So just give it a go. Just say anything for that question.
Yeah.
Do you believe in life on other planets and why? I am so shook that this has been asked because it seems a bit controversial. Like, do you really want to be getting into beliefs and religion and spiritual views in an interview? Like, ooh, it's a bit deep.
I guess you could think of it that way. So this is one that I heard, and I never saw it in person, but I heard that one of my old CEOs used to ask this question, and I kind of like the reasoning. You're basically asking, do you believe in the impossible, or do you believe in stuff that hasn't been done yet or that hasn't been proven yet?
I would struggle with this question because
do you have an imagination?
Because like I do believe in things that are impossible, and I'm driven, and like if something hasn't been done before, that I wouldn't think that means I can't. But when it comes to like religious-y God stuff, this kind of question would turn me
Life
off.
on other planets. You don't believe in aliens? It's not God. I don't hear God in that question at all.
I don't know.
Do you don't believe in in the whole entire
there is.
universe? There's no life out there.
No, there's definitely aliens.
Yeah, I think my answer would actually be yes, absolutely, I do. But the reason for why is because there are people much, much smarter than me who've answered this question, including Professor Brian Schmidt from the ANU, who is basically won a Nobel Prize in astrophysics. And I asked him, or someone asked him this question at a lecture I was at, and he said he believed in life on other planets for sure. So I figure if he believes in it, he knows better than I do. So I'm going to go with him on that one.
I wonder, like, how much of a deal breaker is this question? If I said, no, there's no way, are they going to write me off as being like, oh, well, she doesn't believe in
close-minded with this particular person? Potentially. Yeah. I like with this one that there's actually a reason behind it, and I think they're digging into the why. If you can back up your answer, it'd be kind of hard for you to justify why there's no life out there.
I suppose it does show good qualities if you're either saying, yes, I do because I just believe that, or I'm not sure, but yeah, probably because I don't know everything. That's also admitting to like not knowing it all, and who knows, and like, so I can get that.
I think answer truthfully, but just go into your explanation of why, and try and talk through your thinking in these kinds of things.
Okay, this next one is just actually a joke. Like, why did we even put this in here? But somebody literally sent this in on the Instagram question box. Who's your partner? How do we know he isn't some kind of criminal?
Yeah, I mean, so inappropriate to have been asked that question, and I'm so annoyed that someone actually asked that in an interview. I think I would use that tactic where, you know, when someone says something sexist or racist or inappropriate, and you ask them to explain it.
Can you explain? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would do that. Oh, sorry. How does my partner involve in the job? Is there a part of the role that my partner would need to contribute to? I think I would just ask them something like that back.
I mean, why do you think someone might have asked that in an interview? Are they just a 1% absolute weirdo, or is this a kind of common thing? People trying to see how you handle that answer?
That sounds like someone's done some stalking beforehand on Instagram or something. That just reeks of really inappropriate. I'd be thinking red flag. I'd be thinking, okay, let's get some kind of an answer out. I would either deflect it if you can, or if you really want to give like an answer of, oh, my partner does X, Y, Z, and he, you know, or you could say, I don't see how that's relevant. Hey, oh, sorry, I'm not sure how that's relevant to the role. You know, would my partner be involved in the job? I think you can kind of put it back on them, and they'd have to explain why he's related.
The partner's not going to be involved in the job, so that just seems.
I know, but what you're trying to do with that is not. They're not going to say, oh yeah, he has to be involved. You're just putting a mirror up to them so that they realize, oh yeah, you're right, that was inappropriate. And also this, I mean, depending on the context, this could be an illegal question as well. You're not allowed to be forced to answer anything that could allow you to be discriminated against. So imagine this was something in a same-sex relationship or something like that. You're not required to answer those kinds of questions. So you could say, I don't feel comfortable answering that. But I'd just be thinking, red flag, do you even want to work there?
For sure. Next question we have, if you were an animal, what would you be and why? Similar vibes to the hamburger question. What's the gist with
I feel like this one's quite common though. I think,
Really?
I think if you're out there listening, you should pick an animal and just come up with a reason why. Just do it once. Don't practice it every time you're going for an interview, but just, have an animal in mind just in case. What would you say?
This is funny because me and my boyfriend have this discussion regularly, and he tells me I'd be a monkey, and I tell him that he would be a golden retriever. He just has golden retriever energy. But
Why are you a monkey?
Just monkey energy, cheeky, loud, funny.
Would you say that in an interview? Cheeky.
No, that's what I mean. Like personality, that's my animal, but I wouldn't want to say that in an interview.
How would you answer it?
I don't know. I'd maybe say a meerkat because I'm curious and looking out, and I look out for others.
That's my answer.
No,
that's my answer. I've used that in an interview before.
I've never.
Yes.
Wow. I just said that because meerkats are my favorite animal at the zoo because they do the little head check and they're so cute.
I saw a guy on TikTok who has a meerkat, and I was like,
"Oh my god,
what?
I want a
He
meerkat."
owns one. I don't know. What the hell?
So yeah, probably don't give an animal answer to at home.
It's all
fun
about
personality. The why.
It's all about the why.
Yeah.
Like you could be, if they're already thinking that your personality so far is a bit arrogant and you're a bit too confident and like you're a bit of a know-it-all.
And then you say you'd be a jaguar. They're probably like, okay, simmer down.
I'd be a lion because I'm the king of the jungle.
Yeah.
Then, but if you said I'd be a lion because I protect the pack or something like that, bit of a different answer, right? It's all about the why.
Imagine if you were like, I'm a sloth because I remain calm under pressure.
That's a great one because it's entertaining. So they're seeing your personality here as well. And remember why I said that people ask these questions, or at least my theory. They're bored. They don't like interviewing. So they're trying to entertain themselves.
They're trying to get a bit of razzle dazzle.
Yeah, if you're too serious in an answer like that, show a bit of personality. You could say, I'm a monkey because, I like to think I'm pretty smart and love bananas and I can be a bit cheeky. That could be a bit fun of an answer.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right, next one. This one I think is the hardest. This was also a friend of mine that wrote this in. And this is so hard to answer. They asked her, what's more important to you, getting the job done right or on time? And she also specified that she had to pick one. They said you can't say, both are important. Ultimately pick one. And I said, oh my God, what did you say? Because that is so hard, especially, in my field, journalism, right? We're told it's better to get it done late than wrong because of the implications, you can't be spreading false news. So for me, I feel like it would have to be getting it done right. But in other jobs where you don't have that pressure of, putting information out to the public, probably getting things done on time is very important for deadline purposes, especially a flow-on effect in companies through sales, through whatever. So this is hard. Is there a right answer to this?
I think you've got to explain yourself. And like you said, I think the most important thing about your answer there is there can be huge implications for a journalist if you make a mistake in a story.
Absolutely.
And you get a quote wrong or you don't fact check properly. There can be massive implications for not only me, but the whole company and the reputation and the people that are quoted in the source. So in that case, I would say absolutely get it right before, it can wait. So it's all about the backup explanation. Why have you come to that decision? How have you justified that? I might be able to say one of my mottos at work, because often a lot of what I have to do on a large scale is roll out big projects, big change things, processes or whatever. And so I often like to say, don't let perfect be the enemy of good. And so sometimes you can spend too long trying to work out the tiny, tiny little details when you could just roll something out that would get you 80% of the way there, and then you can work out the finer parts later. So I could use that as a bit of an example, but that's when you're talking about, I would make sure to clarify. But look, that's when I'm talking about rolling out a new project where you're improving something. and it's more important to get it rolled out and to see the benefits that you can then improve on it later. Whereas if I was talking about, putting out an offer to a candidate, you have to get that right. Like you can't make a mistake
or if you're
in
like
your salary.
quoting a client a price, or like it just depends on the nature of your work, really. But
I think pick one, but really put some energy into explaining why you've chosen that one. I don't think they will say, oh, well, that was the wrong answer.
Yeah.
It's all about your justification.
Yeah. And
if
of
you
course
said
both are
something that
important.
surprised them and then you gave a good justification, they'd think, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, fair enough.
Cool. Now, next question. Do you have kids?
Flat out illegal to ask. You can't
Really?
ask that one. Yeah, it's just not appropriate. So again, you could reframe it. You could say, I don't feel comfortable answering that. You could answer it if you wanted to, but I would try and at least throw it back to them or ask for clarification. Okay, are there restrictions on, the hours that I would need to work in this role? I just want to understand, what you need to know from me for this role. Just so that, you might have a really inexperienced interviewer and they might remember when you say that they're not meant to ask that question.
Yeah.
You might just remind them, whoops, that might have been a bit inappropriate.
And like totally opening yourself up, well, the interviewer's opening you up to discrimination if you're like, oh yeah, I've got 5 kids under 5. They're like, even though we like to believe as a society that doesn't happen, they're probably going, yep, no, let's pick the 20-year-old with no kids because we can work her to the bone and the mum's going to have to duck out for school assemblies, so let's not pick her.
Yeah, or you can answer this question trying to assume what they're trying to actually get at, which is okay. So what they might be trying to ask is, can you work late nights, for example? So you might be able to guess that that's what they're saying and say, well, I'm not sure that that's relevant, but I can work late nights if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
You could answer it like that where you're trying to give them something, but you're redirecting them a little bit.
But if you're not comfortable, perfectly okay to just say, oh, I don't feel comfortable answering that, or sorry, how's that relevant? Because that's on the illegal side.
Yeah, and you can be polite about it, but it's just a little redirect, and you might remind them, oh yeah, I'm not meant to ask those kinds of things, because plenty of people interview people for jobs and they've had no training, they don't know what they're meant to do, but you do not have to answer that question, and yeah, that's literally basically asking you to discriminate, to open yourself up to discrimination. Yeah, you can report things like that if you believe you've been discriminated against because of those kinds of questions. There are things you can do, and yeah, that's gonna differ depending on where you are.
And next curly question we have is, if you were a logo, what logo would you be? This has also weird energy. I would totally get thrown off if I had this.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would have to be for like a marketing or a social media job, right? Like, surely, because, I mean, if someone asked me that for an HR job, I'd be like, excuse me?
Yeah, like what
What
do they mean? Do they mean as in like, say, McDonald's, because like, oh, I love Macca's, or do they mean like the aesthetic of the logo, like how pretty, like what you think is cool, like design wise, like what, I wonder what they are
I think
looking
they're
for.
trying to get at like, what's your favorite logo, essentially. I think that would be a better way to ask it. I really don't know. The only thing that comes to mind is like Facebook,
What?
Nike. Like,
That
what are
is-
famous logos? I would be Nike.
That is so embarrassing.
I don't know
No,
why. I don't know why you would back that up.
Yeah, it's hard to think of some, but I mean, there's a million logos. Like, think of your favorite clothing brand, like a shoe brand, like, oh, I know what mine would be.
Like what?
Mine would be Kraft, like the peanut butter.
What? Why?
I don't know, because I like peanut butter.
That's super weird.
Well, if they want to ask weird questions, they're going to get weird answers, aren't they?
I think just like, this one you're going to have to reflect quickly, very quickly, on the company that you're interviewing with and work out, like, are they minimalist aesthetic? Are they, you know, recognizable?
Oh my God, I take it back.
Something that they would also
Since
admire.
when is Kraft not peanut butter? It's Bega peanut butter. Like, you know, the blue iconic peanut butter that everyone imagines. Why did I always think there was a red logo called Kraft? But it's called Bega.
It's changed. It's
Right.
changed.
Well,
Yeah. You're a
behind the
bit you're a bit behind on your food sales.
wow. Okay. Well, anyway, moving on.
Don't ask Emma that logo question because it's really not the right one.
So,
What
yeah,
would you
I
say if
guess.
someone said like the equivalent of that, but for your industry? So like, what's your favorite newspaper?
Ooh,
Ooh.
would have to be like pedestrian or like something. No, The
young and
Guardian.
cool.
The Guardian. I love
Yeah.
The Guardian. The Guardian
Fair
is out here. If anyone wants tips, reputable news sources, we always have time for The Guardian. Sign up
Love it.
on a small donation basis. Support independent media. Thank you. Okay. Anyway.
Also, by the way, for anyone listening, the way that you answered that and you went, ooh, totally fine to do in an interview. Makes you seem human and like you're really
Yeah.
thinking about it. Great. Do that. Like, don't worry about making those kinds of thinking noises.
Yeah. Let out the thinking noises. All right. Next one. Now, this is a laugh. Haha. So, somebody wrote in and said, tell me a joke and then dash a non-company. And I saw this and was like, oh, that's funny. And then it wasn't until Sarah looked at it and was like, oh my God, I hired
I
her
asked.
recently and it was me that asked her that question.
Yeah.
Which is a hilarious full circle moment.
I know. And I know I said that HR people normally don't ask
Yeah,
the curly
and that
questions.
they're bored, so you're one of them.
No,
big
I have
hypocrite.
a reason. I have a reason. One of the big company values of this company was that, you know, you have to be lighthearted and not take things too seriously and all that kind of stuff. So we kind of saw it as testing that kind of values alignment of the person. So in a very HR move, it was, you know, aligning to the values of the company. But yeah, that was always something that we kind of saw. If people looked up the values and they saw that one, maybe they would think of a joke and bring it with us. And we used to get some interesting responses from people. So I asked this to, I want to say like maybe 10 people in total of the time that I was there. And we got lots of different responses. Some people just came out with a joke. Honestly, anything that they came out with, we were pretty happy with. Like, we were pretty impressed that they could just on the spot pull out literally whatever joke.
That scares
Some
me. I feel like I
people-
need to prepare jokes now before every interview.
Some people thought about it and then came up with a funny story, which was okay. Again, like give me what I'm trying to get out
Yeah.
of you, even if it's not in the exact way that I asked for it. Does that make
Like
sense?
if you tell one and
I'm
it's
trying
not
to
that
see
funny.
if you have a sense of humor.
Yeah, if you tell one it's not that funny, it's not like they're going to be like, that joke sucked, we're not hiring her. But it's just the fact that you're like,
No.
oh, for sure, righto, and tell one. Like,
Had a go and got in, showed your sense of humor, showed your personality, tell a funny story. One girl actually said, "Oh, you're kidding," and I was like, "What?" And she goes, "Well, I don't have a joke, but this will make you laugh. I was telling my partner about the values, and he said, well, you'll need to prepare a joke." And I was
my
like,
God.
"No, I won't need to prepare a joke." And so
next minute.
yeah. So that was a funny story and that was fine.
Yeah.
Some people, one or two people, just couldn't come up with anything. And they completely froze.
Oh, that's so sad because you know that
I know.
it's just because it threw them. Like, it's not that they're probably not funny or like they probably just were so nervous. And in an interview, you focus so much on preparing your interviews around hyping yourself up.
Yeah.
And then to get a bit of a lighthearted curveball, like, oh, they just would have panicked. I feel sad.
I know, but just like, just say anything.
Yeah. Knock, knock.
Just
Why
say
did the chicken
anything.
cross the road? Like, just.
Honestly, I would be satisfied with at that point, why did the chicken cross the road? Or the last time, tell someone about the last time that you laughed at something, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And look, that was obviously never the basis of the whole hiring decision. But if it was at the end of an interview that was pretty mediocre, it didn't help, you know? Say something.
Yeah.
Give them what they're looking for from you. So they're looking for sense of humour. Give them something else that shows your sense of humour, even if it's not a joke.
Yeah. Okay, and next we have somebody wrote in that one of their old hiring managers used to always tell people in the interviews, draw me a dinosaur. And he said that he used to do this to just essentially do a vibe check the banter, check that they could have a laugh, have a go, same vibe. Like, I feel like the common theme in a lot of these questions is that it's not about what you say, but just in your, how you compose yourself,
up a bit.
like how you have a go. But I think that's hilarious because I am a terrible drawer and my dinosaur would be so bad.
Yeah, but you would get in there and you'd have a crack and you'd be like, there you go, there's my dinosaur with his tiny little arms and, you know, maybe you could, I imagine like a T-Rex, you know. Yeah, I think, again, like they're trying to entertain themselves. Imagine you worked in the team of that person and, you know, your boss went in and he was like, oh, I've got another interview. At the end, wouldn't you just be like, can I see their dinosaur?
Yeah, true.
Every person that came out, you'd be like, well, can I see their dinosaur? Like, what did their one look like?
Yeah.
It'd be kind of fun, right? And yeah, just go for it. I think I have no problems at all with that one. Again, a bit weird, but like they're trying to see your personality.
Yeah.
Just try and relax a little bit. I know it can be, can catch you off guard. I hope they're not doing these kinds of questions for like people who work in really serious environments, you know, like if you were going for
no, I think this was
a legal job or an accountancy, you know, like these sort of things make the most sense when your personality in the job is actually going to matter.
Definitely.
Because they're kind of testing your personality a little bit.
So there you have it. We have picked some outrageous but amazing curly questions and debunked them, gone through what they might be looking for, some tips. But yeah, mainly the gist is to just have a go. They're not really caring too much about your answer. Hope you guys found it valuable and
maybe think about your favourite animal.
Yeah, or your favourite joke. And we'll be doing some more interview content. We'll do maybe next episode some regular interview questions and give some mock answers.
If there are things that you want to know about interviews, particular questions that you find hard to answer, let us know. Send us a DM on Instagram. We're always interested in what you guys want to hear because that's why we're here, to help you.
Yeah. Thanks so much. We'll be back in your ears next week.
Thanks so much for listening to Interview Boss. If you like hearing the sound of our voices, go ahead and click that subscribe button in Apple or follow on Spotify. Or even better yet, tell someone about the show. That's how we can hit the charts so we can help even more people. For more advice, inspiration, and a supportive community, check us out on Instagram at InterviewBoss.
If we've been your job search besties and helped you in some way, there's a cool way you can support the show. Shout us a virtual coffee.
We get a huge kick out of reading all of your success stories. Head to buymeacoffee.com/interviewboss and shout us a cuppa.
If you keep us caffeinated, we can keep the content coming.